Welcome along to Ownbeg for the first of our O'Neill Senior Football Championship quarter-finals, live here on We Are Derry and Derry GAA TV. The crowd beginning to build here in Ownbeg for this double header, which will begin with the first game throwing in at 4 o'clock. That will be the meeting of Newbridge against Lavey, and then throwing in at 5:45. We will have the reigning champions Glenn taking on Kilrea. As I said, the first of the knockout stages of the O'Neill Senior Football Championship. Double header of quarter-final action, so hopefully you'll stay tuned along with myself, and joining me later on will be Paul McFlynn on co-commentary for both of those games. Beginning with the first one, as we mentioned, Newbridge and Lavey, and many expect this one to be a ding-dong tussle and a very hard one to call. Both of them were in the semi-final stages last year, so one of them is going to bow out here this evening here in Ownbeg. While also Glenn were in the semi-finals, of course, last year. They are the reigning champions, so only one of the teams involved tonight were not at the semi-final stages. Two of those is going through this evening, be it all the way to penalties, because as a result on the day, both these games this evening here in Ownbeg. As I said, the crowd building here in Ownbeg for the double header, with Newbridge and Lavey kick-starting us all off at 4 o'clock, with then Glen and Kilrea taking place at 5:45. As I said, Paul McFlynn will be joining me. We'll have a wee word with him as well on what it is like now to be part of the county management team. Join us with the first game throwing in at 4 o'clock.
O'Neill.
Paul McFlynn alongside me, but we're going to run through the...
Over to Jake, Rory McGill. Over to Jake, Kieran Henry. Agus over to Doye, Patrick McGurk.
Would not start. He has been replaced by number...
Over to 3J, Liam Murphy. Over to 4J, Declan Hughes. Agus over to Niall Turner.
Number 6, as I said, James McGurk coming in at 25 there. Jamie Duggan at number 7. Bradley and Kevin O'Neill in the midfield partnership. Rory McGill, Kieran Henry and Patrick McGurk making up the half-forward line. The full forward line now of Liam Murphy, Declan Hughes and Niall Toner. Lavey beat the semi-finalists last year, taking on beating the semi-finalists also last year in Newbridge. Newbridge side will be coming up on your screen now with James Rabbett in between the posts for Newbridge. Declan McKeever, Conor McGrogan and Shane McGrogan making up the full back line. Sean Young, Tony McGrogan and Conor McGrogan making up the half back line. Sean Young, apologies, number 5. Number 8 is Conor Doherty. Number 9, Nathan Rocks. Half forward line, Callum McGrogan, Mark McGrogan and Michael Bateson. Full forward line, Conor McAteer, Oran McGlone and Mark Doherty making up the full forward line of the Newbridge side. Our referee this afternoon just making his way out onto the park there along with his officials. Paul, firstly, congratulations from the last time you were on air with me. There's a number of changes. You've an All-Ireland medal in your back pocket for the Masters. You got player of the match in that one. You're into the semi-final of the Recreational League. You just won last night again. And you're also part of the county management. So congratulations on many a front.
Thanks, Alan. I suppose the big one there has been involved with the senior setup now and getting that call from Mickey. And it was something I wasn't expecting, to be honest. And then when I took a bit of time to think about it, I'm sort of seeing it as a great opportunity to be involved with a great bunch of players and a great management team, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it must be a great honour, I suppose, when you did get that call from Mickey to be asked along. It must be fantastic, like, to be honoured and to be the opportunity, I suppose, to be part of the management of your own county team.
Yes, and I suppose especially when somebody of the stature of Mickey Hart reached out to me, and to be honest, when I first got the text, I obviously didn't have Mickey's number saved. I thought it was maybe a wind up from some of the Loop boys or the Derry Masters boys, but when I took a look at the photograph on it, I could see that it was obviously a grandson of Mickey's there, the Tyrone top, and I got back to him, and look, we've been talking back and forth for a couple of weeks, and I suppose there's a lot of things to factor in making that decision. It's a huge commitment, and you're weighing up wanting to get involved, but obviously with family commitments and the time that it's going to take away from the family, and but look, it's a great opportunity, and I suppose I have the motto now, I suppose you get older in life, you only live once, so I'm going to try and grab it and make the most of it.
Well, enjoy it and wish you the very best of luck. Tonight we're here about the O'Neill Senior Football Championship. We've reached the knockout stages. We've 2 quarter-finals tonight. First up, Newbridge and Lavey. Many people say this is the toughest one to call over the weekend.
Well, I would say, when you're looking at them, I think, to be honest, when you looked at the 4 quarter-finals, people are maybe, disregarding some of the other quarter-finalists in those other 3 games, and this would be the one where it's very, very difficult to call. People marginally maybe selecting Newbridge as favourites, but I think this will go down to the wire. I think you have a Lavey team that, they've had a turbulent time in the last year with things that have been ongoing, and we're not going to get into any of that, but I think, having seen them, I've watched them a couple of times this year, particularly they played Glen earlier on in the year, and I was very impressed with them in the second half, and particularly against Glen, and they really put Glen to the pit of their collar. So look, you always know what you're going to get with Lavey. You're going to get a very ultra competitive game and a hard working team, so this is very much one we're looking forward to.
Just speaking on Lavey at the moment, as we watch Declan O'Connor, our match official in there, Eamon McGill is the captain, but we've been told that Eamon isn't starting, that it will be Jack McGurk will be starting for Lavey. That's a huge blow if that is the case, but just looking at Lavey, they've had a bit of upheaval in the club, I suppose, from last year's semi-final. A number of personnel are no longer available to them that have left the club, but credit to them, they put it behind them and they've moved on and they're back in the quarter-final.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose, it's very difficult when you're an outsider, to be commenting on things like that. And I suppose Lavey, at the start of the year, they weren't in the position they wanted to be personnel-wise, and there was lots of things going on. But in fairness to them as a squad, they have really knitted together extremely well. They're playing good football, and look, they will see this as an opportunity to get to a semi-final of a championship. And they have now. They'll be disappointed that they get relegated from the league, but I think they've bounced back extremely well from that.
Exactly. And just looking at both teams, I suppose automatically you're picking out the players that were represented the county this year, and in particular for Newbridge, Conor Doherty has been superb all year so far in the championship for them.
Yeah, look, Conor, you can really just see him when he's playing. Like, to be honest, I think when you go to a club game, you know, your county men should be standing out, and every time you watch Newbridge, he stands out, as does Patrick McGrogan. And you know, Lavey obviously will have a plan for them today in terms of curbing their influence, but that's not easily done, particularly on a pitch of the size of Owen Begg. And look, we have also perfect conditions here this afternoon as well, so that's going to lend itself hopefully what it should be an open game of football. A great pitch, great conditions, and two evenly matched teams. But Lavey will, no doubt the management team will have tried to curb the influence of both those individuals, but it's easier said than done.
It is indeed. Well, Newbridge will be the homework done too on the Lavey men, of course. Niall Toner involved with them as well, so it'll be interesting to see where do you see the matchups, and do you see many positional changes possibly just for players to pick up other players?
It's hard to know. It'll be interesting to see, you know, with Patrick McGrogan there at 6. I suspect Lavey will have to put a runner on Conor Doherty, you know, and who that runner is, I'm just not so sure. Eamon McGill is a huge loss there, so I factored that he might have been perhaps moving to midfield perhaps at some stage and maybe doing a job on Conor or Nathan Rocks, but that's going to have upset Lavey's plans now. So look, we'll keep a tight eye on it here at the start, and we'll try and let the viewers know what positional switches we can see.
I see Eamon McGill still out there. He doesn't look like a man that isn't starting, so we were told it was 25 for 6, but I think it's a different one. 25 is out there, but I don't think it's Eamon McGill that isn't starting, so we will have to keep an eye on that, Paul, because I see Eamon McGill out there in the middle of that team out there in the starting. As we look down there, Newbridge in your picture at the moment, getting last words of encouragement for them as well. So this is a big game. It's knockout football. The group stages are done and dusted. It's now all about the championship. This, I suppose, Paul, people say the championship starts now with the knockout stages, and this is where it begins. But I have to say, personally, I enjoyed the group stages and the groups throughout the game. I suppose coming towards the end of it, teams realised where they needed points and what was their big games, and I suppose coming down the home straight the last 2 or 3 games, in particular from the break, I suppose it became a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, it certainly did, Alan, and you could see that picking up towards the end of those final group games where points really mattered in terms of finishing position, in terms of the top 4, and in terms of being that 5th place that doesn't go through the quarter final but it's not in any trouble. And also mattered there, you can see, for 6th and 7th at the minute, where my own club is involved in that, and it's not as nice. But so to be honest, I was a bit dubious about the process in terms of playing 6 games, but I get it from a county's perspective and bringing your county players back in, and I think it has worked extremely well. And every game was competitive. Every game I watched looked like a championship game, unlike perhaps in previous years where that wasn't the case. So we're reaching the business end of it now, and I think out here today we have 2 really of the form teams at the minute.
We do indeed. Well, I can tell you Eamon McGill has made his way over to the substitutes bench, so that is a huge loss for Lavey this afternoon, as Kevin O'Neill makes his way out there. And in your picture, the number 10 is Rory McGill, and Conor Doherty in there as well, the midfielder for Newbridge. Conor Doherty, the county man, and he's joined in midfield there by Michael Bateson, has moved into the midfield, and as we said, number 10 Rory McGill joining Kevin O'Neill in the midfield for Lavey, as Declan O'Connor is about to get the O'Neill Senior Football Championship quarter-finals, and the beautiful setting here in Owenbeg for the first of those quarter-finals for 2023. The place on offer, your first name in the hat for the semi-final draw, which will take place tomorrow, of course, after the other 2 quarter-finals, and we are part of a double header this evening. Glen, the reigning champions, taking on Kilrea after this one, but it's all about Newbridge and Lavey at the moment as Declan O'Connor gets us underway here. And the ball is up, and it's a strong hand in from Rory McGill, and it's Lavey first into possession, and it's Fintan Bradley, who was lined out at midfield, is first into the action, gives it to Toner in the corner. Niall Toner, the county man for Lavey, slows it down, comes back out here now towards Patrick McGurk just waiting for the runner to come and help him, but he's been pushed back towards his own goal. But in the name of the game now, everyone is about keeping possession, and that is your change. James McGurk in possession, spreads it over to the far side. The lights will be on before we're going home this evening, and maybe not before this game comes to a halt. James McGurk involved again as Lavey try to create the chances in here. McGurk has the opportunity, but he's been pushed back out again, but it's back in again. This is good play from Lavey, and James McGurk, he's not going to have a go himself. He's giving it back out here, and an opportunity maybe for Liam Murphy, trying to get it on to the left foot, but coming round the outside of him there is Ryan Mulholland. Lays it off to Niall Toner, who's over there as well. Back to Mulholland again. This is good play from Lavey, holding possession but just not creating the opportunity at the moment. But Mulholland gives it into Toner. Toner comes back outside again, and they'll rebuild again as that opportunity goes a begging. He's coming across the field. Coming to meet him is Rory McGill. McGill gathers possession, was thinking of having a go there, was he? But gives it to Ryan Mulholland. He's bottled up as Lavey hold possession, but Newbridge are keeping them at bay at the moment. Is Kevin O'Neill lets one in, and that's a good score. Patient build up, good finish from O'Neill.
Fantastic finish, and Lavey will take a lot of heart from that, because it was patient build up. They kept the ball, they retained it, and an excellent score from the 45, really outside of the boot. A fantastic score to settle Lavey, and Newbridge will be disappointed because they would have taken great oxygen from turning that over.
So 90 seconds they had the ball in the hand without a Newbridge man getting a touch, and it finished with Kevin O'Neill opening the scoring for this quarter-final clashes. Here come Newbridge, Mark McGrogan. There's a number of the McGrogans, we'll be mentioning them all evening. McAteer now in possession, lays it back to Conor Doherty. Doherty just outside the 45 metre line. We'll just watch to see who's picking up Doherty. It looks like following him at the moment is Kieran Hendry. Dual star, of course, is Kieran Hendry. Now Newbridge trying to respond immediately, and that looks a decent effort. Has it gone across the front of the goal? It has indeed, from the number 10 Callum McGrogan with the wide. So nothing from Newbridge's attack, so it's looking like Kieran Hendry could be the man that's following Conor Doherty.
Just checking that on the way out there, it looks to be that Kieran Hendry is following Conor Doherty. So look, big task, big job. You can see him checking him off the ball there. He certainly is giving away a few inches in the aerial battle, but I'd say he's there for his athletic prowess.
Yeah, there's no doubt he has the pace. And here come Newbridge again. Mark Doherty, Conor's brother of course, lays it back here into the corner back coming forward. Shane McGrogan, the player goes down off the ball there, but way over on the far side. Back out here now to Mark McGrogan. McGrogan lays it off here, and the wing half back coming forward now, and an opportunity and quick hands here from Newbridge, and the effort coming in from the corner forward Mark Doherty, and the sides are level.
Yeah, super score, patient, off the shoulder, angled run, great layoff there from Conleth McGrogan, and a perfect score at the edge of the D, just where you want to be shooting from.
So Lavey go short on this occasion, holding possession, and in possession at the moment is Jamie Duggan. Jamie just coming out, and Newbridge happy enough to let him filter into the Newbridge half of the field before the tackle comes in from the point scorer there, Mark Doherty. Lays it back now to James McGurk, and Lavey building their way into the game. Both these teams had to get a result on the final day to make sure of their passage into the quarter-finals. So their championship kind of started on the last group game because they knew they needed to get something to definitely make sure. As Niall Toner, little dummy from Toner, gets away from the challenge. Referee plays the advantage, but Toner doesn't need the advantage, and thus the expertise of Niall Toner, Paul.
Oh, listen, unbelievable. The balance, the coordination, the ability to pull off that tip dummy in such confined spaces and make room for the score. Fantastic score.
Super point from Toner, and Lavey are back in front again as Newbridge come looking to respond. Beaten by Glen in last year's semi-final, while Lavey bowed out at the hands of Slough-Neil at the same stage. So only one of them is going to be in the semi-final pot for next weekend semi-finals, as Conor Doherty tries to jinx his way through there. Back out here again now to Callum McGrogan, and he lays it off to the number 7 there, which was Conleth McGrogan, but Lavey get the bodies back, but there's a chance here, the opportunity for Bateson. Bateson's effort drops in and drops over the bar. Sides are level.
Super score again, Michael Bateson, brilliant score. I thought perhaps he had just waited too long there and it wasn't going to make the distance, but perfectly measured from one of the veterans in the side.
2 points apiece, 5 minutes on the clock. We expected it to be a decent encounter. It started good, and that's a good ball in, looking there for the full forward Declan Hughes, who seemed to have read it well, but going back to pick this one up is Paddy McGrogan. The experience of Paddy, he'll not get too excited and will get to the right position, and just leaving a little bit of work here for the cornerback, but he has all the time in the day to keep that one in at Declan McKeever. Long fist forward now from McKeever to his other cornerback there, Shane McGrogan, and McGrogan lays it off, and Conor McGrogan very much involved in the early stages. As coming forward now is another McGrogan, and that is Conor, and he lays it off, but that effort coming in there from Callum goes to the wrong side and wide, and a little bit of a rushed effort.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, he had certainly much more time in the ball there. I think he had space to move into, and probably just a rush shot didn't make a good connection, but he's well capable of putting them over from there, so I'm sure, no doubt, he'll have another chance shortly.
Niall Toner goes short for that kick out, and now it's Kieran Henry coming forward as Newbridge begin to go back towards their own goal to cut off the danger. And it's coming forward now is Jamie Duggan, and Duggan steps inside the Newbridge 45, lays it back again to Hendry, has the time and a little bit of space as well as Hendry, but he's not interested in going forward on this occasion, and lays it off now for the opportunity here for Patrick McGurk, who has got pace and has got skill, and he has got the finish too if it comes to the bit, but this one hasn't got the legs. The keeper comes out, Jamie Gribben, and James Gribben does very well, former McCrory Cup winner, and that's what you want to see from a keeper, being commanding in that position, Paul.
He did very well, because that ball was dropping perfectly, I thought, for Declan Hughes there to get a hand on it, but the James Gribben came very big and strong, got a punch to it, and well cleared. That'll do his confidence a world of good.
It will indeed. An up and coming keeper is James Gribben, as Newbridge look to try and get their noses in front for the first time in the game, and coming forward there is Paddy McGrogan, and he lays it off to his county fellow star in Conor Doherty. Makes his way through. Did he take too many steps? Referee says no. The Lavey support thought he might have, but the referee Declan O'Connor was happy enough of it. Back again to Conor Doherty as he was crowded out. Gives it out now to the midfielder, who lets an effort in, and Newbridge hit the front for the first time in the game. Nathan Rocks, and it's good point scoring from Newbridge at the moment, Paul.
Yes, and Alan, if you look, all those scores are coming from the same area. There's no one shooting outside the scoring zone. 3 of Newbridge's scores have came almost in the midline of the pitch, and at the edge, that's a little bit further out, but they're all in line with that edge of the D. So that's not by coincidence, that's deliberate in terms of the coaching.
That's worked on in the nights of training. Just slipped, and he kind of slipped into it. I think there was no malicious in it, that he lost his foot, in Kieran Henry
lost his foot and he slipped in, so it certainly wasn't intentional by Oren McGlone there at all.
So he gives it back here now to Conor Mulholland. Mulholland coming forward. 3 points to 2 to Newbridge, as you'll see in your scoreboard. 8 minutes and 23 seconds gone in the opening half in this O'Neill Senior Football Championship quarter final. First of our live broadcasts from the Football Championship for 2023. As Lavey coming across field on the 45, and there's a bit of space here now for Duggan. Duggan has that coming. That's a beautiful score from Duggan. Wonderful point from Jamie Duggan.
What a score. When you think of Niall Toner's score, like the point kicking so far, Alan, has been top notch from both teams. We just had one wide so far, I think, and fantastic outside of the boot, the confidence to hit that. Fantastic score from Jamie Duggan.
It's more open probably than I thought, although the players is coming back into defence, but there's still opportunities there, Paul.
Absolutely, it's very open. We expected Newbridge to be ultra defensive, but they haven't been so far.
And that's another super score on the run from Shane McGrogan, and Newbridge back in front again.
But Jamie Duggan can do it one end, Shane McGrogan does it the other. Fantastic. There we have the left half back in one team and the left corner back in the other, up scoring, just such as reflective of the modern game, Alan.
It is indeed, and Newbridge happy enough for Lavey to go short on each occasion, and Jack Scullion happy enough to oblige in playing it short, as Newbridge make their way back into defence again to try and close off the avenues that Lavey will be hoping to pay dividends. But it's 4 points to 3. It's been a good opening 10 minutes, treated as 7 well taken points so far, and all from play. As the ball in from Kieran Henry finds James McGurk. McGurk put under pressure over there by Mark Doherty, has to go back out again as they try to work their way across. Now Toner comes deep to gather possession, and Toner coming forward, looks to maybe lay it off there, but elects not to, and then he does, as Henry in possession. And they're just waiting the opportunity. It's all about patience at the moment, not giving away possession cheaply, and waiting the right opportunity before somebody has a go at the posts and working their way in. And there might be a chance here for Mulholland. He plays a good one too with the other Mulholland, the full back, which was Conor. And back out again to McGurk, who spreads the ball over, and there's a little bit of space now on the far side here for Kieran Henry. And Henry cuts inside the challenge, goes a little bit too easy between them maybe, lays it off, and an opportunity here for Patrick McGurk, and the sides are level again.
Super score, Alan. We really are being treated to an exhibition of point taking both teams so far, and again that score, edge of the D, worked round. Patrick McGurk came round in the loop. Again, you can just see the person before that, I can't recall who had the ball, just to slip off. He was waiting on the run, perfectly timed and well executed.
It was indeed. 4 points apiece, just over 11 minutes gone, and now it's Lavey's turn to take the bodies back into their own half of the field and let Newbridge come up the park, which they are doing at the moment. As they come forward here, and coming forward is Conor McGrogan. McGrogan has got Conor Doherty beside him, but he plays it in. Doherty goes there, but the bodies and the arms are round, and we have a free in. This could be the first score from a free, and the man that was bottled up there was Oran McGlone. Illegally so, says Declan O'Connor, and a chance here for Conor Doherty to again immediately reply for Newbridge. And I suppose that will disappoint Lavey, that each time they get back immediately Newbridge are coming up the field and scoring again, Paul.
Yeah, it really is tit for tat here in terms of scoring. So, you know, once, and that's what has surprised me thus far, has been how open the game has been. Newbridge would have been perhaps known for being more defensive, shall we say, than Lavey, but that hasn't transpired thus far.
Conor Doherty will make no mistake from there, and Newbridge are back in front again. 13 minutes gone, or 12.5 minutes gone in the opening half, so 5 points to 4. 9 points in 13 minutes, Paul. We'll not complain about that.
Absolutely, and hopefully the viewers are appreciating it here, because look, and let's say it's great to see, because we have a wonderful afternoon, perfect conditions for football.
And the referee has spotted a foul as Lavey were made go long on that occasion, and the midfielder that was fouled, I don't know if it was Kevin O'Neill or Fintan Bradley that was fouled, because both of them had gone for possession and then for kicking the ball away. It's been moved forward, but Patrick McGurk, who hit Lavey's last point to level it up at 4 points apiece, plays the ball back here now to Jamie Duggan, who lays it off to McGurk, James McGurk, and Conor Doherty's facing into him, but Jamie Duggan had gone for the ball, and James McGurk had given it to him. He's got Ryan Mulholland with him, but he elects to play it back out here now to the other Lavey man coming from deep, and that's Rory McGill. McGill is bottled up, and it's the first time we've kind of given a loose pass all evening, Paul, and it might be a chance here for Newbridge to break, and an opportunity here now for Conor McAteer. He's got the midfielder outside him, Nathan Rocks, who has hit a point already. Coming round the corner again is McAteer. McAteer cuts inside the challenge of Henry. McAteer on the angle, has it just outside the post and wide, but it was the other end. It was the first loose pass we've seen.
Yes, and I think that loose pass was a result of a strong tackle by Conor Doherty. Conor got a good strong tackle in, and that unsettled the Lavey player and coughed up possession. Great counter attack, just the finish just wasn't there.
So Newbridge couldn't take advantage of that turnover, and Lavey have possession back in their hands yet again, as they come with Conor Mulholland, the fullback for Lavey. Remember, Eamon McGill didn't start for Lavey, he was replaced by James McGurk. So a blow, and that is the change over on the far side now in possession, which is James McGurk. Comes forward, lays it back off again as Lavey just try to create the opportunity again. Jamie Duggan just sitting deep, gathers possession. He's got Niall Toner with him, and Toner just watching to see who is picking up Toner. It could well be
that's a Mark
McGrogan that seems to be following Toner when he comes out deep anyway, Paul. I'm just watching Niall Toner. It looks like it's McGrogan that's following him, but as you said, it's a mark, and a chance here for David Hughes, or Declan Hughes, apologies, to pop over the equalising score, which he does so.
And again, you could just see there as Jimmy Duggan got that ball, you could see the angled run from Declan Hughes. He just knew he wanted the mark, and Jimmy Duggan knew that he wanted to mark. Telepathy at its best, and a perfectly executed pass, great mark and a great score.
Yeah, both teams have it worked out well so far. and going about their business. As coming forward now is Sean Young. Lays it off to Mark Doherty, who hit over Newbridge's first point of the day. And Newbridge tried to come in and kind of pulled it into traffic, did McAteer there, but he managed to get it out, and Conor Doherty's onto that one, lays it off, and the opportunity from the younger brother Mark, but this one is out and wide, and there's 2 wides in a row now for Newbridge in their last 2 attacks.
Yeah, he just snapped at that one now. In fairness, he was coming under a bit of pressure. The defenders were closing him, so he just snapped at it and unfortunately just tailed wide.
Into the second quarter. 5 points apiece here. The scoreboard just, if we can get it corrected, Lavey on 5 points as well, as they come forward here with Niall Toner looking to edge in front with Ryan Mulholland, but he's placed that one in the air, but Declan Hughes is under it, and Hughes gathers possession, might be in for a goal out of absolutely nothing here. Saved from McGribbon, Declan Hughes follows up with the goal. It came out of nothing. It was a shot from Ryan Mulholland. He was going for a point. We'll not say he was going for anything else. He was going for the point, but Declan Hughes made the most of it, Paul.
Absolutely. And whether that disrupted the Newbridge defence and the way that particular ball came in, but no better man under a high ball than Declan Hughes. He's a complete handful in there, and the fact that it was a save and then he got it at the second attempt, soccer style, will certainly annoy Niall Conway and his managing team. You can see them down below us here just getting a bit exasperated with that.
Yeah, because James Gribbon had pulled off a fine save, but his defenders weren't alert. It was Declan Hughes was alert to the rebound, and suddenly Lavey have moved a goal clear. 1-5 to 5 points. As Newbridge tried to respond immediately, looking for the point, the effort comes in, and it looks that it's gone over the bar. It has indeed. Callum McGrugan with the point, and I suppose if you're looking for a response, that's the way to do it.
He took the words out of my mouth, Alan. A super response by Newbridge, straight up the pitch, over the bar. So now we're just back to 2 points.
It's been an entertaining quarter final so far. 1-5 to Lavey, 6 points to Newbridge. It's Conor Mulholland comes soloing out of defence for Lavey, and the goal, I suppose it was one of those goals that came out of absolutely nothing. We can't say it was well worked, but Conor Mulholland still going here as he goes down. Was he fouled? Referee says no, lays it back out the back door. An opportunity, the effort comes in. It's got just enough on it from Liam Murphy, and Lavey moved 3 clear again.
A super score from Liam Murphy. He's been relatively quiet thus far. We haven't mentioned him. And a super score. Again, we thought there was a foul there on Conor Mulholland going through, and he has been really impressive now in this first half. As Conor Mulholland, his ability to break the gain line repeatedly is causing trouble for Newbridge.
If you're critical, I suppose you'd be saying it was poor defending from Newbridge to let Conor run so far.
Yes, well they did, but I mean he's a big strong fella and he's athletic, and
Conor Doherty.
Connor's going at the other end.
He is indeed. Connor's still going. He might have a goal on his mind here. There's Conor. The chance is in here. Is in an opportunity for the full forward. Oh, wonderful diving block there from Kevin O'Neill to deny Oran McGlone. He'd sidestepped the keeper Scullion, but Kevin O'Neill rolling back the ears, diving in, deflecting it out for a 45 ball.
Absolutely, and that's just reflective of effort and endeavour. You could see him tracking the whole way back, and there's no such thing as a lost cause with Kevin. Man, he opened the scoring with a fantastic point, and he's showing at the other end what he needs to be able to do. Just the modern midfielder in terms of getting up and scoring, but also he's not neglecting his defensive duties. 19
minutes gone, 1-6 to Lavey, 6 points to Newbridge. 45 here. Paddy McGrugan is the man that's going to take it for the Sean O'Leary's Newbridge men. And you wouldn't put it past McGrugan to pop this one over. The linesman just making sure that he's not going to steal any yards. And with them big white lines, it's not easy to steal any.
Yeah.
So Paddy steadies himself to come forward here. Has got a good connection, but has he got the direction? No, he hasn't. Goes to the wrong side and wide. And that's a 5th wide for Newbridge, Paul.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that, and certainly we'd say an evenly. It's obvious the only difference is the goal, but in the context of play, there's very little between the teams here. It's a 50-50 game.
So Jack Scullion goes long again, got great distance, well taken there by Rory McGill inside the other 65 metre line, lays it off now. Opportunity here for Fintan Bradley coming forward for Lavey, onto the left foot from Bradley. Is it going to come in?
Yeah, it's there.
It's in. That's a superb score from Fintan Bradley.
Well, like you can see there where Newbridge had pushed up in the kick, And obviously a training ground move there was the long kick from Jack Scullion to Fintan Bradley, and that's how open Newbridge were there, and the confidence to kick it off his left foot. Another super score.
He's mixing it, going short, going long, and Rory McGill's onto this one again, but he couldn't take it on this occasion. But there to help him out was Ryan Mulholland, and Lavey just with their tails up at the moment. 4 points clear, and we're inside the final 9 minutes or 10 minutes of the opening half, which is flowing by. It's been exciting stuff so far. And that goal from Declan Hughes in the 17th minute is the score that really has Lavey in the ascendancy here, as James McGurk coming forward under pressure there from Mark Doherty, but he gets away from him. Just James McGurk lays it into the corner, and it's the corner forward that's up there looking for that one, which is Aidan Toner. Now coming on the far end was Niall. Now it's a way back over here now, and a way back out to Ryan Mulholland. And Lavey will not panic in possession. They will wait their opportunities. They've got the pace to break the game line, and Ryan Mulholland's doing that and just slipping in behind. Chance for Liam Murphy's hit a point already. Back to Mulholland again, and Mulholland pops it over. They're so patient, Paul. They've got the pace, and they've got that pace to break the game line.
Yeah, absolutely. All over, particularly you've got Ryan Mulholland, Jamie Duggan. The boys talked about Conor Mulholland, all defenders coming through at pace and power, breaking the game line. And you notice a bit Lavey there thus far, every ball, fist pass has been executed really, really well. No ball to ground, it's always ball to hand.
So far so good for the Lavey men. Newbridge need to respond. This game 5 points adrift at the moment for a game that was so evenly matched, but since the goal Lavey have just upped the tempo, and it's just stung Newbridge at the moment, and they're struggling to respond, and they're right down in the corner, and they've been turned over down in the corner as the challenge comes in. They've won a free out, and Newbridge just needs something at the moment to settle them down, Paul, because this game could slip away from them before half time.
Yeah, it was a fantastic turnover there. Michael Bateson unfortunately found himself going into the corner, no support. Lavey doubled up on him, excellent attack and patient defending, not been silly, really disciplined, turned it over, and now they're in the break.
Yep, the pace again of Lavey coming forward over on the far side. And it's going to be a dangerous ball in, but Declan Hughes just slipped there and watching it, and into the safe hands of James Gribben. He lays it off now to Paddy McGrogan as Newbridge come out. And I don't know, I'm not sure, it was off camera there that Declan Hughes just slipped, because it looked like it was a decent ball in, so I don't know if he was going to make the ball, but James Gribben, in fairness to him, Paul, he read it well.
Yeah, a slight slip. I don't think he would have made it anyway, but it certainly made the collection easier for James.
So Newbridge 5 points adrift at the moment, and they're probably wondering how they're 5 points adrift, because they've been very much nip and tuck with them. But that goal, we all talk about goals being killers, and they've been so important, and really the manner of the goal will have disappointed Newbridge as well. But here they come, trying to hit back with Paddy, and Paddy has hit a beautiful score over the bar. Paddy McGrogan.
A super score, and a fantastic score by one of Newbridge's leaders, so they needed that. And for him to come up from full back, he's moved out. He started on Declan Hughes at full back, and he's moved out now to the middle, so they'll be needing his penetrative runs to get themselves back closer to Lavey.
We'll see at the moment, Conor off camera was Conor Doherty was tracking back there along with Fintan Bradley. That's Lavey come out of defence again. Kevin O'Neill opened the scoring after 90 seconds and then made a wonderful block to deny Newbridge a goal as he spreads the ball over to the far side, coming up on 25 minutes gone in the opening half. And Conor Mulholland comes forward yet again, body going outside him on the far side, which is Kieran Hendry, and Hendry comes forward. He's got Mulholland making that run again. Mulholland takes a heavy shoulder in there, lets it off though. It was Mark Doherty that come to meet him. Back out to Conor Mulholland again. Can he finish with a point? Yes, he can. He's having the game of his life.
He has been absolutely superb. It'll be interesting to tally mark a number of times you and I have used his name. He's been phenomenal. His ability to break the gain line. He's strong, big, powerful, athletic, but also an exceptionally talented footballer. Newbridge might have been claiming there and there was a charge, but Declan O'Connor didn't see it. And again, intricate hand passing. When they got the ball in around that zone, they got it out quickly and found the space to execute the score.
8 different scorers on the Lavey side so far. As here come Newbridge, 5 points adrift again. An opportunity. There's no breeze either because we're looking at the flags, and if anything it was a crossfield. But here's Conor Doherty trying to bust his way through. It's opened up for Conor onto the left foot. Conor Doherty pops it over the bar.
And again, what Paddy McGrogan was able to do the last time in terms of response, Conor has followed up and done the exact same thing. And the thing about Conor is he's two-footed. So when he's going through there, Lavey aren't sure what side he's going to go on, and he made excellent use of his left there on that occasion.
Jack Scullion again picks out his man, and it's Niall Toner who's going deep to gather possession. There's the 1-2 there of Aidan. Now into Ryan Mulholland. Mulholland just comes gingerly out of his own defence before playing it across to Rory McGill. And now there's all the space in the day over on this side of the field for Kieran Henry, who seems to be just roaming about everywhere, as well as keeping an eye on Conor Doherty. I'm not sure now, it could be Rory McGill maybe that's picking up Conor Doherty now, as Conor makes his way across there to try and cut off Conor Mulholland, because he'd not want him going on another run, in which he's doing at the moment. And he's still going as Conor. He's going to have another go as Conor. He's confident from the last one, but this one tails out and wide. Maybe a little bit too confident, Paul.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, when you're having the game he's having, you'll tend to go for it. I don't think that'll dilute his confidence in any way. He's having such a good game.
I think that's the first wide for Lavey. The first one I'd marked down.
Yeah. Interesting though, Alan, how deep Niall Toner's coming to collect the ball. Obviously it's a strategy, thinking he might have been tied up inside, but the way Newbridge are playing, I don't think he would be. They're not getting the bodies back, so I think he would be a great source of support there for Declan inside. Yeah,
there seems to be space in there. Conor Doherty in possession at the moment, has got that little bust of pace. The two county men combine here, and Paddy inside the post pops it over and reduces the deficit. It's 2 in a row, and the two county men single-handedly kind of keeping Newbridge in contention.
Yeah, last three scores that came of that, and that last one in particular, they both were involved in the play, set up that time by Conor, and that's 2 points from Paddy now since he moved out the pitch. So you can see Newbridge recognised that perhaps he was a slight waste back where he was.
The ball broken down, won by Lavey again. We're into the final 2.5 minutes of the opening half, which has flown by. It's been entertaining so far. Patrick McGurk plays it back out. Lavey will be looking to respond for those 2 points from Newbridge, as the lead is now cut to 3. Just the goal that coming from Declan Hughes after 17 minutes that separates the sides. Ryan Mulholland comes forward yet again, cuts inside, and inside the 45 metre line, looking to get support, turns it on, and was almost bottled up, but Kevin O'Neill was there, and Patrick McGurk coming round the outside, needs to get the shot away. He gets it away just before the challenge comes in and gets the point. There's Patrick McGurk. They're so good at that, Paul, holding possession, waiting for the body to come around the back.
Well, that's definitely his second point, Patrick McGurk. Maybe if not 3, he's definitely got 2 if not 3. I'm not so sure, Alan, you're 2. The man making the notes there, but I mean and again, it's just exactly the same as his first score on that loop, coming round, edge of the D over the bar. But Patrick McGurk has also picked up an awful lot of ball, and I think from a Newbridge perspective they need to tie him down.
So Newbridge looking to respond again. Mark Doherty 4 points adrift with half time approaching, and we don't think we'll have any injury time because we've had no stoppages at all, as Paddy McGrogan lays a long fist pass forward here looking for Conliffe McGrogan. Conliffe plays it back out. Might be a chance, or half a chance of getting the shot away there, but it comes back out in the full forward. Oran McGlone sends Newbridge 6th wide of the game. A rushed shot, missed opportunity.
He'd be disappointed with that. He could see after he released it that he just had another split second or two to compose himself. So it's just a rush when you're under pressure. And if
under pressure, talking about under pressure there, and they have turned it over. And a chance here now for Paddy McGrogan, but he can't make it count. There's another wide. It's gone over the bar. It looked wide. That's a questionable one, Paul. That looked wide.
Certainly looked wide from where I was standing.
Surely the linesman will have seen this, but the referee is going in. Jude Dixon is the linesman on this side, but most definitely didn't look like it was inside the post. Go on and talk to both umpires.
Didn't look over from here. However, we've been on other sides of things where we thought perhaps it was over, it was flagged away.
We wait to see the decision as the referee is in talking to the umpires down there. We wait the decision. I think Jude Dixon's talking to them too through the little earpiece, so it'll be interesting to see, but it looked a wide pull.
It did, and I didn't have the presence of mind to check out where the umpire was. The umpire on the far side on the left who made that call looks like Pat Kidd, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and where he was positioned for that. They're certainly taking a long time to deliberate over this.
They're struggling to make the decision here. I'm guessing they're going to have to go with the original decision, unless
it's
somebody.
Like it.
No, it's going to be disallowed.
No, it's disallowed. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be disallowed. So I think it's fair. So the point being disallowed there. So it remains 110 to 9 points.
I don't think even the Newbridge supporters here, subs are beside us, and they're smiling, sort of hoping they would get that, but knowing that they didn't deserve to get it.
Yeah, well, we've gone in now to 31 minutes. That was the long stoppage of the opening half. It was almost bottled up here. Is Jamie Duggan. He's under pressure, but he manages to get out of that pressure and play it back, and the referee Declan O'Connor takes a long look at his watch in the middle of the field there. Kieran Henry in possession, and Lavey may just try and run out the opening half. They'll be pretty happy to take a 4-point advantage in at the break as Ryan Mulholland lays it off, and Lavey doing that. And right back now to Jack Scullion, and there is the end of what has been a very lively opening half. Lavey leading 110 to 9 points, with the all-important score probably coming out of the blue. Declan Cusco.
Yeah, look, I mean, you would say, looking at it, they're fairly evenly matched, but as that half progressed, you could certainly see Lavey just seemed to be a little bit ahead, particularly in terms of that shot selection and execution. I think you noted there they'd only had one wide versus Newbridge maybe have, is it 5 or 6 wides? So 6 wides and all. So that in itself tells the tale of a 4-point difference. Creation of chances looks to be pretty similar across the board, and certainly I think in terms of viewers, the crowd here, we've certainly been an entertaining game. The first half of a championship game to finish 110 to 9, that's normally a final scoreline in a quarter or semi-final in Derry football. So it's great to see such an open game of football. Interesting to see. Obviously the stats men will be out at half time. They'll be looking at percentages and bits and pieces, and I would expect a few perhaps positional changes. I think Pat McGurk needs tied down from a Newbridge perspective. Interested that Patrick McGrogan and Conor Doherty have been doing a little bit of damage in that second half, and certainly when you needed leaders to step up, they dragged Newbridge back into that, because at 5 points down at one stage it was looking at it was going to go away from them, but they've steadied the ship. But look, they'll still see that from their perspective. I think Niall Conway, and they will feel that they haven't performed yet.
Yeah, speaking of Niall Conway there, while we're being entertained by some fantastic point taking, he'll be bitterly disappointed probably a number of those hadn't been closed down much quicker.
You're right, Alan, and I mean Niall always prides himself on his sidekick Paul, his cousin there. They pride themselves on being strong defensively and breaking, but today we haven't seen that really from Newbridge. I mean, they haven't really turned over Lavey that often. If anything, the turnovers have been at the other end, and they'll be disappointed with that. And I think that ability of Lavey to work the ball in tight spaces around that edge of the D and get the kicks away, that will certainly annoy Niall.
It will indeed. While at the other side, you were talking about where the points were being kicked from Newbridge, and then you could start seeing that Lavey were beginning to push Newbridge out. They pushed one of the players right into the corner. They overturned him there, so they began to push them out of that scoring zone. Yeah,
and probably the fact that they were getting back a little bit quicker. It seemed to be that when Lavey were hitting a kick out there and they went long on a couple of occasions, they really caught Newbridge out. Newbridge were scrambling to get back. Lavey seemed to be able to get back just that wee bit sharper, and as you say, get the hands on, turn over the ball, and that's probably been the difference.
Okay, that's where we leave at half time. It's here, it's Lavey 110, Newbridge 9 points.
And a red Volkswagen.
emerge from the dressing room here for the second half. A very entertaining opening half, which sees Lavey lead by 110 to 9 points. Our match officials are back out, as you will see in your picture there. Declan O'Connor and linesman Jude Dixon in your picture. So Lavey leading 110 to 9 points, and just apologies, I do believe that some of you may be having trouble in joining the live coverage here from Owenbeg this evening, but I think now the game is available on YouTube, so just go on to social media there and you will get the link to the YouTube for any one of your friends maybe that haven't been available or unable to get connected to the site this evening. So it will be available there if you can tell them so. The link will be there on social media. So the second half, we have Newbridge back on the park here, Paul, and just looking around, there doesn't seem to be any changes in personnel to Newbridge for the second half as we wait Lavey to come out. No doubt Lavey will be much the happier at half time.
Yeah, I think they will. And speaking to ones at half time there, I think the general consensus is that Newbridge will be disappointed with their performance, particularly what we had said around that defensive zone. They've conceded 110, and a lot of that from Lavey has been from play. So I'm not sure the exact number that has been from play, but it's been high in terms of the playing stakes. So
all but the mark.
All but the mark.
Yeah.
So from a defensive perspective, that will be disappointing for Newbridge. So I think I expect to see a much more aggressive defensive performance from Newbridge in the second half.
Yeah, but we did speak, Paul. When they have got the bodies back there, they're not laying a hand on Lavey going through.
That would be it. I think you can see that the management team get a little bit animated down below, and I think we can guess what they're looking at, because when we're looking at it, we're seeing Lavey men with lots of time on the ball, and Newbridge, as you say, they're sort of shadowing them, but they're not getting hands on. And when you're not getting hands on against good players, I always a philosophy with good players, when you're 2 yards off them, you might as well be 20. Because if you're not getting that hands on and touch tight, a good player is going to make those decisions really easily. And it's just been too easy for Lavey in certain facets of that game.
Has indeed. Well, Lavey are definitely using all their time in the dressing room, just keeping Newbridge waiting. But as we speak, Lavey are now beginning to take the park, as you will see. And I can't see any personal changes on the Lavey side, because it has been a very entertaining opening half for them. So James McGrath wearing 25 did start, but there is a player in, number 30 is joined us, and
that's
number 30
Nathan Scullion.
Nathan Scullion is in to the Lavey side, so I'm not sure who the player is that's gone off. It could be, looks like it's number 4, Seji Mila is the player that could well have made way from the Lavey side. Yep. So it looks like Nathan Scullion is in to the Lavey side. So Declan O'Connor awaits to get this second half underway, and no doubt about it, we talk about it, the opening 10 minutes of this half is going to be vital. Newbridge will be looking for a good start, Paul.
They will. They're 4 points down. They know first 10 minutes we know of the second half is crucial, but as we know, the games are won in the last 10. Most championship games are one of the last 10. It'll be interesting to see what both teams have off the bench here as well, because they'll certainly need personnel coming off the bench to see the winner over the line.
So we're about to get underway for the second half of the O'Neill Senior Football Championship quarter final. Lavey leading by 4 points, and Declan O'Connor gets us underway, and it's Conor Doherty first into possession, grabs possession and gets the ball into the chest. And now Newbridge looking for an early start to the second half, and Conor McGrogan is the man coming forward for them, the full back. We saw Conor Mulholland have an excellent first half, the number 3 for Lavey, coming forward at every occasion, and that's a long fist forward in here, and it might be an opportunity here for in behind for Sean Young, and he's trying to jinx his way through, gets the effort away and gets the opening point.
Great score, great composure, both wing half backs combining there. You had Conleth McGrogan and Sean Young. Great score. Thought he had got bottled up, but a nice dummy and a nice score off from an acute angle.
And Scullion again, expert from the kick out so far. He's been excellent. And he picks out his man yet again as Newbridge retreat, and Lavey patiently will build from the back, and Ryan Mulholland is the man to carry it forward here. Hit a point in the first half, and was also the player that went for the point that dropped short, that Declan Hughes made it into a goal scoring opportunity, which he took at the second attempt after being denied by James Scriven in the first one. Here's Kieran Henry taking on the Newbridge defence lays it off to Aidan Toner into the corner. Back out here to Kevin O'Neill, hit the opening score of the game. Back out now to Liam Murphy. Murphy a long fist in. They've been caught napping here. Fintan Bradley had the opportunity, but he delayed it, and they have to work their way out again as Kevin O'Neill with the outside of the boot. It's a dangerous one, but it's well read by the goalkeeper again, James Gribben.
And even in that first play there, Alan, you can see Newbridge a little bit more hungrier in defence there and closing down the space. We didn't see any of that really in the first half.
There was a lot of harsh words, I'm sure, in the dressing room underneath us at half time as they come forward now through Michael Bateson. Conliffe McGrogan, and Conliffe is going to have a go. That's a super point from Conliffe. It comes in, no, it comes back off the upright, and Lavey is alert to that one, and Kieran Henry is just about being everywhere, Paul. Kieran Henry.
Yeah, he's lively. You can see where they put him in Conor Doherty. He's really athletic, he's quick, he can run. He made a great burst there at the start of that second half there, and he's now back 70, 80 yards down the other side of the pitch picking up the ball, so he's certainly having a good impact in this game.
And he's in possession at the moment as he comes forward for the Lavey men. Plays it back again. Ryan Mulholland, as usual, is the man to carry it forward for Lavey. Lays it off now to Kevin O'Neill. A wonderful block to deny Newbridge a goal in the first half when he slid in to deny Oran McGlone. And here is Rory McGill racing on to this one. The pace in with McGill. He lost possession, though. He's been overturned. Good tackle from Michael Bateson. And as you mentioned, Paul, you can just see the little bit of aggression from Newbridge in the tackle now.
Yeah, they're certainly different. There's an edge about them in defence. It wasn't there. And there's 2 turnovers now that they've had in the first 5 minutes. And as I say, at the risk of repeating ourselves, that was not there in the first half. So that's obviously something that they've been trying to address at half time.
Coming forward now is Conor McAteer. McAteer plays it in. Callum McGrogan looks to get support, and he does so from Mark McGrogan. Mark turns one way, turns the other, and helping him out was Conor Doherty. As Sean Young, who hit the first score in the second half, has he won himself for free?
Yeah, he's in trouble.
Yes, he has.
He's in trouble.
And this could be a black card. Would be interesting because it could well be a black card, and as you mentioned, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it developing when Kevin was trying to get hands on Conor and stop the run, but I think on that occasion he went a little bit overboard in a position that wasn't that dangerous. You could just see he didn't want him coming on the lip for the score, and that's what Conor was trying. So it'll be interesting to see what Declan O'Connor does here. Will it be a yellow or a black?
It's a yellow. Yellow card for Kevin O'Neill. He might find himself lucky.
Lucky, I mean,
it's bad when we say a yellow card's a lucky one.
Probably harsh in terms of the definition of the rule. But you know, I don't see no objections there from the Newbridge people, so we're glad that Kevin's staying on the pitch.
So Conor Doherty comes forward here as he tries to curl that one in, and he curls it beautifully between the posts.
Score.
Makes it look so easy, and suddenly it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, 2-point game, and certainly Newbridge have started this half much better.
Lavey will be looking to get a score. They've been turned over those last 2 attacks as they come forward yet again. Aidan Toner in possession. He's carried it into the challenge, into the tackle the last time, and he was turned over. Was Rory McGill. So it'll be interesting to see where they come this time. But you can just see, as Paul had mentioned, what we didn't see from Newbridge in the first half, where they're putting the press on, and Ryan Mulholland, apologies, uses his pace, though he's getting away here. There might be a chance for Rory. Quick hands, there might be an opportunity in here. Aidan Toner into Declan Hughes. He scored a goal already. Wonderful save, block in there, second block there from the defender, but it comes back out to Hughes again, but he's been bottled up, and the referee keeps a close eye on this one. The ball's on the ground, he's going to throw it up here, but that was quick hands from Lavey. But again, the challengers come in, they were throwing their bodies in front of it both occasions. I'm not sure who it was that had the block. It might have been Paddy McGrogan, was it? I see he's on his knees in there.
I think it was. He certainly was in that vicinity. But I mean, it developed from a great run from Rory McGill. He was being picked up with Callum McGrogan, and Callum lost him for a second. He got on the edge of it, quick hands through. But on that occasion, probably the best option for Declan would have been to fist it over the bar.
Well, again, another Lavey attack yields nothing, and Newbridge come out with possession. So Lavey await the first score of the second half. 6 minutes gone. Newbridge have 2 points since half time and have half the deficit. Conor McGrugan in possession. Fists a big long one way back here into his own half as he steps inside. The 65 now on the other side. And they come forward here with Sean Young. And the corner back up there, Shane McGrugan hit a point in the first half. Conor McGrugan was very much involved too in Newbridge's attacks in the opening half. Has just slipped at McAteer, but he was back on his feet again. Needs to get support. Does so from Sean Young. Young lays it off here now to Conor McGrugan. Oh, just had the opportunity possibly to get it away. Has got it away now. That's a super point. Looked like maybe the opportunity